Is the answer armed guards? How does America protect itself from foreigners who want to come here and freeload or kill us? Congress says it has the answer, but is it bull? This man's in Mexico, just across the border from California.
Hey, you stay there! Baba knows!
The person yelling at him is Robert Crooks, a self-appointed border policeman.
These borders have to be secured. We're at war.
Crooks leads the Mountain Minutemen, a vigilante group that tries to keep illegals from entering America.
Put troops with guns here. They got guns. They shoot at me all the time.
10-4, air support ground units are on the way.
The Border Patrol. We protect America.
It's the Border Patrol's job to secure America's border.
We are out there, guarding our borders, protecting the homeland.
But the border's long. Border Patrol agents can't be everywhere. So recently, Congress decided the best way to protect America is to build a wall.
It is imperative that we complete this fence.
We need 700 miles along the border.
Good fences make good neighbors.
And so you are paying for this. A $2 billion barrier that later this year will extend 670 miles across our southern border. Presidential candidate and Congressman Duncan Hunter pushed for the fence his whole career.
You know, I built the border fence in San Diego.
What do you mean you built the fence?
I added money each year in the drug interdiction budget to build that fence.
But the fence hasn't stopped the illegals. After all, the fence is hundreds of miles long, but the border is thousands of miles long.
The smart smuggler ain't going to go to where the high security is at. The smart smuggler is going to take the to the weak spot.
He took Reason TV to an unguarded tunnel.
Where's Department of Homeland Security? Hello? Anybody here?
You can just walk through the tunnel to Mexico.
Oh, you're in Mexico now. You're in violation.
Once they were on the Mexican side of the tunnel, he just turned around.
Would you like to go for a walk to America? Hey, follow me. I will take you to America. It's just this simple.
San Diego Border Patrol Chief Michael Fisher. Most of the border is not fenced.
That's correct.
Even here, they could swim right around this. They could walk around this fence.
Oh, and they do. They will try to come up over the fence. They will try to come underneath the fence. They'll try to swim around.
Even where there is fencing, people get around it. They bring ladders like this one we found lying right next to the fence. We found dozens of abandoned ladders near the fence. Or they cut holes in the fences. This one's been patched, but doesn't matter how high a fence is if you can cut holes in it. And they have holes every few feet here, one after the next. There is no evidence that the fence has reduced the number of illegals who cross. In San Diego alone, agents catch about 400 each day. They put most in a bus and return them to Mexico. Will that teach them a lesson, convince them not to try again? Of course not. They keep trying because they want the better life that America offers.
Better work, better opportunities, more money. They can catch me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 10 times. I'm gonna cross.
A survey of thousands of migrants who were about to sneak into America found that 9 out of 10 were able to enter eventually. And even if we build an impenetrable fence, one that's a mile high, it would only solve part of the problem, because lots of undocumented migrants don't sneak in. In fact, half the illegals who are now in America came here legally through checkpoints like this one in San Diego, or they flew here and overstayed a tourist visa or a student visa. A fence won't have any effect on them. The 9/11 terrorists came here on tourists and student visas. They flew to America legally. And yet, you continue to pay for more of this.
I don't know how anybody can't see that this stupid fence isn't a waste of money.
Drew Carey, who hosts webcasts on Reason TV, which has the motto, free minds and free markets, thinks he knows why we're funding a wall.
Contractors get money, politicians get to get up and say, I'm getting tough.
Congressman Steve King wants the fence electrified.
We do that with livestock all the time.
We need to complete the border fence.
Congressman Hunter retired this year, and now his seat's held by his son, Duncan Hunter Jr. He too says we must have a barrier on the southern border.
They use actual barriers. That's
but
the
it's
basic
really
thing.
expensive. They can put a ladder over it. They cut holes in it.
Not if they're being watched. That's why
But if
you have,
they're
you
being
have Border
watched,
Patrol people.
then well, you don't need the fence.
You got to have both. What is it worth to the American people to not have another 9/11?
But wait a second, this wouldn't have stopped 9/11.
No, absolutely not. It might stop the next 9/11 or something like it.
Which brings me to ask, if it's good to wall off America, why wall off just part? What about the northern border?
When we seal up the southern border, we might need more resources at the northern border.
Last year, more illegal Middle Eastern nationals were caught crossing from Canada than from Mexico. And if we wall off Canada, we're still not covered. What about the miles of East and West Coast beaches? Are we going to have machine guns on the beaches?
Don't be silly, John. Nobody's ever suggested doing anything mean. I think the message is this, John. If you want to come into the United States, you got to knock on the front door.
But America doesn't make it easy to knock.
It's so hard to get a guest worker permit and all this stuff. There's so many red tape hoops you have to jump through. It's easier to sneak across the border. We have to change it so the easiest, simplest thing isn't to sneak over the border. It should be, if you want a job, you get your papers and come in here and work.
When 2020 returns, can you make it in America on $25 and hard work? Some say
it can't be done.
Watch him test the American dream. Next.